Hey guys, welcome back to Flying in Space with Planet Head. Tonight is January 30th, 2023. I took yesterday off just because, well, I wanted to. My, let's see if you can see here, my Eagles, I told you guys the day before I'd either be upset or happy. I was happy. We are into the Super Bowl. So that's all that needs to be said about that, because I'm sure a lot of you don't care except for the 1% of us out on the planet that actually like the Eagles. I'm thinking globally. But also, I've been recently trying to um, just do videos whenever. Ooh, what was that? Oh, shoot. My battery's running low. That's plugged in there. I forgot I was vacuuming, and I forgot that I had my. You guys really don't need to see this, but hey, I like to put real world stuff on there. There we go. Okay, not going to lose it. Nice. Okay, so one side note, what I normally try to do is I try to just make videos only whenever I want to, or if I have an idea. I don't like to just make a video to make a video. And other rules of thumb that I keep in the back of my head, I have like these golden rules: never ask for any subscribers, never never overthink things too much, because then it takes away from the fun of it. I already have a day job. I've already got a second job, which is playing Eve. I don't want a third job to make these videos. I ran into that issue about a year ago where I burnt myself out. So yesterday, while I was watching the games, I had a choice to find out and watch the second game of the night after my team won to see who we would be playing in the Super Bowl, or play some Eve. And guess what? I watched some football, and got some ice cream and some chocolate and made a sundae because my team won. So I'm back. I actually even debated today on making a video, because honestly I didn't have a whole lot. I was kind of emotionally drained from yesterday. I was really amazed by how important yesterday's games were. I'm old now, but it's still important. But then I just wanted to play a little bit today, and then whenever I'm not really thinking about Eve as much, I play a lot of the Long Dark, just because it's something that I could throw in there for 30 minutes and play and not die at. I almost did a video today in regards to not the Long Dark, but what it's about and how its type of gameplay is similar in a way to Eve. I remember, had to be like a year ago, I think, when the big war happened. I used to watch, during the pandemic, I watched a lot of Talking in Stations and some other channels, and they were able to do a lot of videos because obviously everybody was sitting at home. That's when I got started. Yeah, somebody heard me talking. Okay. Hi, Maya. How are you? And when World War B2 started, let's see if I can keep talking with her jumping on. See, I learned something today. Here we go. Look at this. This is the brush of doom. The brush of doom that makes somebody go away. I'm gonna brush you. Okay. Yeah, not happy with me now. Yeah. So, you guys can't see it. I am not getting a good look right now. So, So I want to say about a year ago, whenever World War B ended, and the Goon Swarm and their allies were able to fend off, after about a year and a half's worth of warring, the invaders that they had, and they had said that they had won it. But then there was this big debate on the channel about how do you win at Eve? And then in reality, how do you win at a sandbox, an open sandbox like it? And there is no end game. I mean, it's not like you can take over. I mean, if you ended up taking over every system with your huge alliance, that wouldn't be winning. It would be ending the game, because nobody would have any fun playing it. So, in a game like a survivalist game or an open world game like The Long Dark, where I'm playing survivor mode, not the story mode, um, it got me thinking about, why am I playing this game? Not Eve, but that game. Because I'm just surviving until I die, and then I reboot and I start over again. And then it carried over to me thinking about Eve, and why am I playing if there's no way to win it? And then it made me think more and more about it, and there's a lot of reasons to do that. And it's it actually, I think it was the quarterback. This is going to sound terrible. I got to look it up here. It kind of stopped. My thought pattern stopped last night when I was reading an article. And that's actually, this video is going to get into this. I'm going to look at the stabber fittings that I found that I can do later on if I get to it. But if I'm not mistaken, Jalen Hurts. Okay. I read a great quote from him yesterday. That Jalen Hurts is the quarterback for the Eagles. I don't want to get into the huge history of that. He's a younger kid. When I say kid, he's half my age. He's 24, I'm 50. So I can say kid even though he's had a lot more experiences in life probably than I ever have. But he said, gosh, I hope I can... if I can't find it here. It was basically saying to the effect that it's not the end that when you win, it's the journey that you go on to get there is his idea of winning, if I remember correctly. And I thought about that a lot. I thought about that, well, not a lot. It basically kind of brought in why I enjoy playing Eve, why I enjoy playing games like The Long Dark, and it's that there is no end to it. I'm making my own journey. I'm not listening to what other people say. I'm doing what I want to do. Whereas if I was reading a book, or watching a movie or a television series, I want that payoff at an end. I want that, a great writer or a great cinematographer to make that last scene, or great music to go through. And so whenever I'm seeing artistic work done, I want an end. But with me creating my own story, I don't want it to end. And that is what being in a sandbox like Eve, or playing in a one single person game like The Long Dark is. It's your own story, so I don't want it to end in a weird way. So I think that is what keeps drawing me so much back. It isn't the spaceships. It isn't the social aspect. I really love that. Well, the social aspect is part of that because you're continuing these conversations that keep going and going and going. How sad would it be that once you're playing, if I was playing Eve and then I got to the end, I could never talk to the people that I'm playing with ever again about the things that we're learning to do more and more so. So that was kind of my thought yesterday. And then today, I was thinking more and more about that, and I was just playing The Long Dark, and I was pulling up Eve, and I couldn't really figure out what I wanted to do. Then I realized, and I wasn't going to do a video because I didn't have much. And then I thought, well, hey, wait a second. What was the thing that you had to get done today? And that's what you should do for a video. And my thing that I had to get done today was, if you've watched the last couple episodes, I started flying a stabber for the first time, scavenged items, and then I was able to upgrade it, and then upgrade it a second time. Well, not upgrade the ship. I got my skills to go up. And my skills have actually progressed a little bit farther. I think at this point I have got Drone Interfacing 3 and Minotaur Cruiser 3 and some other stuff that I missed. But I've actually flown back to HiSec because I want to move the ship on to the next level. The ship isn't... it doesn't use rigs, and it's only made with scavenged parts. So what do I want to do for the next level of it? What do I want to use the stabber for other than... Because I could just keep flying around in nullsec and going to these desolate asteroid belts and building more stuff, but that's all I'm doing. I want to challenge myself a little bit more. So I want to try to start doing, if possible, some combat anomalies, the higher level ones, not the basic ones like your hideaways and your refuges and stuff like that. I want to try to move up to the next level and see what I can do. With that being the thought, things that I've relied on in the past, using a destroyer or especially a frigate like speed tanking, will not be as usable now because I'm flying a cruiser. It's a slower ship. It's easier to target. So what do I want to do on a basic level to get started with that will allow me the chance to even try to go up against some of these anomalies that have 20, 30, 40 ships in them? And my first thought was, well, I need to either figure out if I'm going to go armor tank or shield tank and then go full tilt that way. Now currently I'm shield tanked, and I think that's the way to go because I can, in the armor area, I can throw the gyro stabilizers in there to get more damage from the guns, which is where I get most of my damage from. So I want to keep going with the shield side of it. So what I was thinking was, my initial thought had been to use the rigs to get more DPS, but that was coming from a destroyer side. Now what I'm thinking is I should focus on tanking as much as possible on the shield side for explosive and kinetic, and then try to get some more hit points and learn as much as possible there on a very basic level and then get moving with it. So what I thought today I would do is, and to do that, I've got to figure out an initial fit that I want to try, and then take those parts out to, or take those BPCs out to nullsec, build those parts so that I can try it out and then move on from there. So today, long story short, after all of that stuff, I'm going to be looking at some fits off of ZKill board and see if any of them align to a shield tanked ratting stabber, and see if I can build my own simulated stabber here. So let's go into the simulation. Now, I know there's a lot of you guys out there that use PIFA and stuff like that. I haven't used it yet. I know it's really, really good. PIFA is a third-party piece of software that you can use. I try to tailor my videos toward people who are newer to the game, especially just flying a regular cruiser or destroyer. And these are things that they may only have access to. Down the road, I may start involving those as I get better with them. But what I thought I would do is just use the in-game stuff with a very quick looks at ZKill board. So, that said, we've gone into the simulator here. Let's go ahead and pull this up. We're going to go into holes and fits. First off, I don't think they have one, but let's see if they have a pre-made. Oh, they do. So they have some pre-made 10's mid-level new bro stabbing. Okay. So this is a kind of cool. Okay, I didn't even look at this. So this is 10's mid-level stabbing. Basic PvP stabber with some fitting room for bad skills and pretty clear upgrades if you have good skills for turret skilled characters. So I am a turret skilled character. This fit was brought out back in August of 2022, so only about 5 months ago. But this is a PvP fit, but we're going to take a look at it here. Now, a couple things I'm noticing right off the bat are, number one, my power grid can't handle this, so I need to look at my power grid skills possibly. Second things are, these are all close range autocannons, Tech 2 autocannons, 4 of those, and then in the 5th and 6th high slots, it's got some energy neutralizers. Now, that's because this is a PvP ship, not a PvE ship. A PvE ship, the neutralizers won't do anything against your NPC characters. So it's best to just, if you're just going purely PvE, dump those and throw something else in there. Now, if I'm wrong with what I'm saying here, please comment, let me know, and I will send an update. But I'm just kind of going off my own brain and what I remember. So basically, we would want to take these off of the ship and then put them onto, like, put them 2 missile launchers or something else in there that would go in the highest slot. Then scrolling on over here, I honestly have not looked at this. This is kind of fun. We're looking at 50. So we're looking at 50 MN micro warp drive. I think that's like a tier 2 tick. Then a large shield extender and a second large shield extender. Now this worries me a little bit. I've seen this a lot back in the day when I used to do fits, where people are just increasing their hit points and not focusing on their shield defense. So they're relying on their total hit points versus their the actual types of damage that they can take. Because notice their highest shield defense here is 57%. Now you do get some diminishing returns there. Now that's fine and dandy, and I'll probably end up using one of these, maybe 2, never know. But the negative to it is the fact that it increases your signature radius. And I've talked about this a lot, especially since I am a avid speed tanker where you want to keep your signature radius small so it's tougher for people to target you and hit you. So long story short, if I turn both, let me just show you here, if I'm not mistaken. So here is my scan resolution, and here is my signature radius. So if I turn this on or off, my signature radius, the smaller values increase the time to lock onto this target and assist in evading enemy firepower. So, and I probably said this videos back, but the fact that this has 2 extended shield extenders, boom and boom, increases the shield radius, which makes it, number one, A, faster for people to target you, but B, when you're orbiting them, it gives them a better shot at you. Which, while I'm in a larger ship, the larger signature radius makes it easier for them to get those better hits on you. So that would be something there where I want to take a look at, is it worthwhile doing a shield extender, or only 2 of them, 1 of them, that sort of thing. A lot of stuff that I could try out here. I just want to kind of come up with one that I like. A warp drive disruptor, which I will not need, because again, this is a PvE ship. So don't need that one. So notice I'm now getting some power grid and some CPU space in here. Got some nanofiber internal structures. So this is where they take your internal structures and make them thinner, so you can heavier structure components with lighter but more fragile material. I'm just reading straight from here. Increases the ship's velocity and improves its maneuverability at the expense of its hull strength. So by putting this on, the ship can actually turn and go faster, actually move faster and have more agility, but its hull strength is 1300 here. It actually goes down, it goes to 1300, so you lose about 325 hit points. Not a bad idea. I'm not going to say poo-poo to that so much, because if you get into the hull, hopefully you're warping away. Anyway, the whole goal with the shield tank guy is once you get to the armor, you want to start thinking about getting away. So I'm not too upset with that right there. Maybe something better would be out there. I've really, really thought about the damage control. I have always been an avid throw a damage control in for everything because it does so many good things. As you can see, you get both shield protection, armor protection, and your structural protection added on. Two schools of thought on that, or two quick thoughts on it. Number one, that slot be used for something else? If, let's say, where I have this warp core stabilizer, or I'm sorry, warp core disruptor, or scrambler, whatever it is, could I throw something here that would upgrade all my shields so I could throw in more damage dealing here? And that would be fantastic. So that's that possibility, if I were to remove it off and put that in there. On the other end, if you're trying to get away and somebody has gotten into your structure, this gives you that big bonus of your structure at the end. And all of us who have ever played Eve have to have had some point in time where we warped off, where we were in like 10% structure. And if you had a damage control on there, that's why you survived. If you didn't, that's probably why you died at that last moment. Now the question is, how many times does that happen? I don't really worry about it so much for my shield bonuses, because you get a 12.5% bonus. But let's just take a look here. The two that I'm learning about here is my explosive and my kinetic. It doesn't actually give you 12.5%. It gives you 12.5% of what is currently on it. So if I were to remove off this damage control, my explosive goes down to 50% instead of 57, and my kinetic goes from 48 to 40. So that is a bonus, but can I put something in the middle slot here, or move these around so that I have a better defense here, and then I could throw something in the low slot? That's a big one. Last but not least are the rigs. And this is really why I'm here. I can scavenge everything else, but you can't scavenge rigs. You can scavenge the parts to make the rigs, possibly, but you can't actually pick up any rigs off of the NPCs that are out there. So my main thing tonight is to figure out which rigs do I want to put onto this ship to take out with me to test out for the first time. I'm not saying it's my end all be all. I can mess around with all this other stuff here, and I will. Whether it's short range, long range guns, what to put in here, that sort of thing. What I really want to do is figure out what am I going to throw in to my rig area. And I'm really thinking I need to put in damage protection, shield protection on it. Notice, now this is a PvP ship, so they're trying to fill in those gaps. They've got a shield reinforcer for EM, which if that's not on, you notice that their EM damage protection is 0. I don't care about that because the NPCs that I'm fighting out in the Great Wildlands don't shoot at any EM. What I could use here is something to help with my explosive, something to help with my kinetic. Those are the two pieces of main damage that they do out there. Other things that I could do are increasing my shield size, or the speed to which my shields actually recharge at. So that's where I'm focused on. What I want to do is focus on getting 3 shield tanky rigs to take out with me to test out for the rest of this week. So let's see what we've got. And that'll be the end of the video, but I'm going to take a look here. And literally I'm doing this on the fly because this is what I would have had to do anyway tonight, and why not just run through it? And if you guys see any gaps or have any ideas, you let me know, and maybe I'll if you've watched my videos, I like to throw stuff in that you guys tell me. So so let's see here. We're going to go into ship modifications, and we're going to look at shield rigs. See what we've got. So they have to be medium. So it looks like we've got, just pull this out a little bit here, a decent number. So click on that, go right down the line here. So we got a shield core defense capacitor safeguard. What is that? Oh shoot, no, I don't need to do the rigs, the blueprints. I need to actually look at the rigs themselves. Then I can figure out which blueprint I want. Because I'm going to try to make these out there. You know me, I like to make the stuff or find the stuff and build it. So let's go shield, ship and shield, and then we're going not scanning rigs, not shield rigs. There we go. And then medium. There we go. Okay. And then now I can click on this. There we go. Okay, so no, I don't want small, I want medium. Stupid me. There we go. Medium core defense capacitor safeguard. This ship modification is designed to reduce the capacitor need of modules which require shield operation at the expense of increased signature radius. So this is going to increase my signature radius, which I was talking about earlier. I think all of these might be increasing my signature radius. Expensive signature radius, signature radius, signature radius, signature radius. So all of the negatives on this are for signature radius. Let's go ahead and scroll. So obviously when you do a rig, you have to do that. So first things first, I need to look at my shield rig skill and see if I can lower that negative thing. Second part is they stack in a negative way. So if I put shield extenders on this ship and then also put these rigs on the ship, it could make my signature radius blossom out even larger. So that's another thing that I want to keep an eye on. So this first one reduces the capacitor need for the modules. Second one here, medium core defense charge economizer. So this ship modification is designed to reduce the power needed for all shield upgrade modules. Expensive increase. Okay. So these are things that seem to be helping you fit your ship. Ship modification is designed to reduce the duration of the shield booster. Ooh. So the ship core defense operational solidifier increases basically how fast your shield cycles its recharge. Now, and that's only for boosters, not for its generic shield bonuses. Then we get into our regular rigs for the type of damage that it will boost. So we've got our explosive one, which I think I definitely want to go with one of those. And kinetic. Keep it simple. I could literally go explosive and kinetic for those. I just want to see if there's anything. Then we got nothing else here. Now, is that it? Ooh, maybe this is just what's available. Let me just sort this. Yeah, it's saying only what's available in the region. Okay. So we got those there, and the rest of these are Tech 2s. So literally, we've got EM Shield Reinforcer. This was one that I didn't see. An Operational Solidifier. So this modification reduces the duration of shield booster cycles. Okay, no, that's not it. Shield Purger. Shield Extender. That's what I was looking for there. So the shield extender increases the size of your shields. Now the last thing that I need to do, so I'm thinking to keep it simple, I could increase the size of the shield the shields with the extender, and just go with Tech 1s for now. And then the question is, how much do each one of these take as far as bring them up? So let me just take a look here. All right, remember you can only fit so much space into your rigs. So the fitting side of it. Oh, so that's the calibration cost is only 50 for that one. And then let's just make sure explosive should only be 50, but I just want to make sure 50. Okay, so each one of these only take a 50 calibration cost. Why is that important? I've run into that before with my my exploration ships where I ran out of rig space, but a stabber should have 400 space on it. Let's just see here. Stabber. Should pull this puppy back up. Okay. Yeah, 400. So I'd only be using 150 of that. So I can use any of those rigs onto here. So, now, let's go ahead and cruiser. Can I so all I'm going to do here is pull up the stabber, throw those rigs on here. So let's go hardware first. So normally I go guns first. This time I'm going to go tank first, which is going to sound strange with the rigs. I'm going to go rig tanking, then guns, then missiles, then propulsion, then low slot damage dealing, and then middle slot shield protection. That's the way I'm going to go here. So let's say we got that. We got our hardware. Get rid of you. And then rigs. So this is what we were looking at earlier. We're looking at explosive shield reinforcer and a kinetic reinforcer. And then from the shield extender, we're going to go with that first. Okay. Notice I've got all three of the. Always want to check those before you go. I've done that so many times in the past where I bought rigs and they didn't fit on there. I forget about that side of it. Still nothing here. Now the guns that I have are the ones I've scavenged so far. So if I'm not mistaken, let's get rid of the rigs here. And, ooh, that's something. So my signature radius right now is 126. To give you an idea, that's up from 100. Okay? So putting these three on there were blossoming me out a little bit there. Now, guns. Always like your guns. Turrets. I'm always trying to remember what to go to. Then we're going to go projectile turrets, and then medium, and then 650. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure I have prototypes on there right now because I've been able to scavenge those. So I'm going to put 4 of those on here, the 650s. I'm not going to do the missiles yet. I'm going to leave those 2 slots open because most of my damage is going to be coming from the guns. The second most damage is going to be coming from the drones that I've got out. And then the last little part would be the missiles. Maybe I want to try something else out there. So let's go propulsion. Always do that next. We can just type in, I'm going to go afterburner. I always like going afterburner. If I don't, then I switch out to micro warp drive if I need to. So we got that on. Just a regular afterburner, nothing special. We can always switch over to compact or something like that later on. Okay. Now, gyro stabilizers need to do our damage. So let's see here. Gyro. Stabilize. We're just going to go. Now, I know I can do I found a decent number of these counterbalanced ones, so I'm going to throw 2 of those on here. And let's put some ammo in the guns. So, fusion. Just so I can get some... Oh, we need 8 charges. There we go. Fusion. Medium level. Boop. The other thing I have to remember is I want to get a blueprint to make the warrior drones, because I still haven't found one out there yet in my scavenging. So I'm going to try to make some drones out there. Is that under... That's not under ammo, is it? I didn't think so. Is that under... Oh, hardware. There we go. Warrior. Really? Modules? Charger? Wow. Oh, this is painful. Warrior. There we go. Warrior 1s. 146. 52. One more. I am now up to 190. With the skills that I have, not adding in the missiles, I'm up to 195 DPS with the skills that I've done recently. That is a big boost. I was at 140 when I started this project. The question is, that last... Remember how I was saying this last low slot here? Instead of doing the shield... damage control. I've got 2 low slots here. I could put on a drone damage amplifier. Let's see how much does damage amplifier. We're just going to go with the regular one, see if that bumps us up any. So that only takes us up 7. Because this isn't a drone ship. Those warriors are not the most powerful. Notice how it goes from 195 to 202. That's an option. I can go the damage control. Unfit that. I don't think I'm going to go with that one. So I've got 3 mid slots, 2 high slots, and 2 low slots. Remember, I think it was like 2 or 3 episodes ago, I was talking about how once you get past Destroyer, your fitting gets a lot more interesting because you have more slots to play with, which give you more options to play with, you know. So the question, see my problem now with the destroyers, I was like, okay, fill up the gun bays. All right, I got 2 slots. We need a propulsion and something to hold somebody down with, and something over here. Now it's like, which do I do? Well, I'm only 65 and 58% there. So mid slots, I definitely want to put the defense in now. So let's do that. Hardware. Go away, and we're going to go into shields. There you are. Now, is this an active shield tank or a passive shield tank? Passive shield tank would allow me to not worry about my capacitor like I've done in the past, whereas an active shield tank I'd have to worry about my capacitor. Now they went with the large asotropic. Alright. Because that increases my tank. But notice my signature radius didn't go up too bad there. Okay. And look at that. This is a big one too. Look how fast my passive shield tank goes up there. I get 3,000, but we're going to leave that sucker on there for now. That's simple. I can always change it later on, but that is just too much of a bonus. It's 3,000 hit points as well as 13 hit points per second. Yeah, now I know why they did that. So, boom. And my effective hit points goes up to 12,800, 12,900 basically. So let's go simple. Let's keep it simple here. Shield resistances. Let's go. Now that's my amplifiers or hardeners. Hardener, multi-spectrum shield hardener. If I threw that in, that bumps me up to a 72 and a 67. Or do I go explosive shield hardener? Why is it a tough one? Or do I go with shield resistance amplifiers? Explosive. See, this doesn't take away. See, these are boosted. 29%. What's that one? That's explosive shield. Hardener and kinetic shield hardener. So that's interesting. I'm going to probably end this video after here because I still have the 4 slots there, plus my shields to go with right now. And I'm gonna put this out to you guys if you have any thoughts on it. Something that I just caught. So if you put on shield amplifiers, these do not take capacitor. They're not powered up and powered on. They are on their own. Totally passive. You don't have to worry about your capacitor. I'm totally stable right now. They take 2 slots. If you notice here, I might be off on this, but I'm trying to remember my 74% and 69% damage resistance on those two. Now I'm going to remove these off, unfit, and unfit. Then I'm going to go back over to the shield hardeners, pull up the multi-spectrum, which does it for all of them, and drop that in here. 72 and 67. So one multi-spectrum that uses capacitor leaves me an open slot and depletes in 12 minutes with everything else running. But I lose that 1 slot. So I could basically have, to give up the extra slot here, I could use the resistance amplifiers and not worry about this, and then throw in something here in the 2 high slots, the 2 low slots. I think I'm going to do that. I know it's probably not the best call. It's something to work on for the future, but it keeps it simple. It gives me that baseline to work with going forward. I could throw those in there, maybe a damage control, maybe an extra gyro stabilizer, or the damage. Let's see here. Let's see. Gyro. So I know I can do the counterbalanced. Counterbalanced gyro stabilizer, the third one, takes me much higher than putting on the drone damage amplifier. So it's better for me to do that. The drones themselves are there. They're not my #1 damage dealer, especially when I'm trying to kill battleships. They're there to basically take out the frigates and the smaller ships that are around. So I think that's the better way to go if I do go with the 3rd damage dealing. So I think I'm going to do that. Let's go. And there's still a little bit to go here. I'm not saying this is my end all, but I don't want this video to go on forever while I can't make up my mind. So I'm going to do an explosive shield extender, unfit, or shield amplifier, and a kinetic, because that's 2 pieces of damage that they do. So that increases these. Yes, those are a little bit higher, just a little bit, but that little bit can help. And then just because it's easy to do, damage control. Can that fit on here? It does. So I've got 76, 72 for my damage protection. My cap is stable, and I've got 2 high slots that I can still use. So as a basic PvE, fighting in Great Wildlands, going up against ships that do both, I think this isn't too bad. I think there's room for improvement. Definitely things that I can work on, but this is a very easy fit to fly and see what that base part is. So I'm gonna go ahead and save this. I'm not gonna fly out yet with this. If you guys have any ideas, please let me know. I might do an update tomorrow or the next day before I take this fit out to start building it and see how she works. So I can always change if you guys give me some good ideas. I know a lot of people want me to go with, or have said about going with the short range rapid fire guns. I'm going to go with the long range to start off with, just to see how it goes. I can always switch out with the short range. But, so let's go ahead and save as basic stabber 1 fit. If I do any more research tonight or the next day, I'll also put that in the comments. There we go. So that's that. Having fun with fitting. So what do I have to do if I want to do this? I need to get the rigs blueprints. I need to get the warrior blueprint. I need to get the extended shield extender. Well, actually, I don't need that. I was able to kill stuff with that. But I need to get the shield reinforcer blueprints, make copies of those, and then I can take those out with me out to the Great Wildlands, out east. So, and then hopefully by the end of this week, I'll have one up and running and trying it out. Unless I make a little tweaker there, if you guys have any ideas, please let me know. Wow, this video went a lot longer than I was expecting. Whoa, yes. 47 minutes. Shoot. I was thinking it was going to go 10 minutes. I talked a lot at the beginning. So that's it. That's what I'm going to be trying out soon. If you guys have any ideas, any thoughts, please feel free to let me know. Other than that, I hope you have a great week. Go Birds. 2 weeks from now. And fly safe, fly dangerously, fly however you want. I will talk to you guys soon. Have a great one. Bye-bye.